What's good, people? Okay, so it should be a little bit darker in here. I'm tired of like the lighting change throughout the stream. But hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully things a little bit better. Hopefully there's no one screaming and yelling like yesterday in the hallways. That stuff happens at like midnight and beyond. Blows my mind. But anyways, this was yesterday. Remember how I was expecting this one to hold? I didn't think we were gonna trade up there. We traded up there, and pretty much that was the high of the day being created at Good Morning FEG Spotter. High today created at 10 o'clock. Remember how I thought that it could potentially go up one more time? I'll go over that really quickly. Could potentially go up one more time to create the high of the day, which it did at 10 or 10:07. So that's when we got that punch up in there. I explained why that, but look how like just nasty it looks, to be honest. Doesn't look really nice. I said if I really wanted to trade, I'll look after 12. Notice how we have this, which would still be a breaker block here. So the same candle I tried to trade off of, I guess it was this one. But notice how we take here, here's a breaker block. If we extend it out in time, after 12 o'clock, displacement up into the breaker block, OTE. Remember, this was the 15-minute time frame. Let's do that. So it's a 15-minute gap that I said we could close. I wasn't sure if we are going to trade below here, but this was the ultimate target of what I was looking for yesterday. We got that. Now we're trading a little bit below. So now, right now, again, not using the other accounts. I don't feel like it's worth it right now. But this is where I'd want to see us trade up into to see if we can get that. Now we do have the previous month's opening price, 23,375.75. So that's pretty much, you know, a opening price or a level that we could see price trade to. Now, you have to go on the continuous charts. You can't look at this on the regular one because you're going to see absolutely nothing over here. So you have to go to the continuous charts and kind of look that there's 3 down close candles, I believe, altogether stacked. So that's the mean threshold. So that's what I would be looking for in terms of price to trade to. Now on this, we have an hourly fair value gap down here in the discount. We had sell side. So I would not expect for price to trade back up into here. I want to see if we can get a reaction from here. Now it is a little bit lower than equilibrium, which is here. So from this high to this low, equilibrium would be up here. I explained why I wouldn't technically want to see that, but it can. I'm not thinking TGIF scenario because we were really consolidated, and kind of yesterday was just very ugly, but it did end up trading lower, right? This is a very ugly week. Now we did have this fair value gap, which I had highlighted, and it pretty much held the whole week. We just consolidated in it and then ended up finally trading lower. So that's a good sign there, that at least that, you know, the high that was on Monday, we weren't looking for any buys. So, oops, that's nice. And I pretty much rounded up this mean threshold. So that's why it's pretty much a mid-figure level. That's what I wanted to see. So we'll see if we can trade up into this. And if we can, see what the reaction that we get. Now, taking it ahead, I'm not as, you know, this isn't one of those times for me. But there is also, would be OTE from this. This would be up into a discount. I'm sorry, into a premium. To see if we want to trade softer. So that's the thought process for today. And then looking to see if we can trade down to mean threshold. And then down here is relatively where a rejection block on a daily time frame is. Again, you have to go to your counts. You have to go to your continuous charts to see that. You're not going to see that on the regular. On this one, there's like nothing there for anyone to see. Right, you can't tell. Weekly chart, it's a little bit better, I guess. So weekly chart, we have a gap. It's even better. Overlaps kind of with what we'd be talking about. So we did kind of hit that already. Weekly chart, you kind of see this gap here. So that's nice to see that there actually. Yeah. So weekly chart, we have this gap. We'll just name it anything box. So that's what we see there. So we can go down to a lower time frame. We have hit that already. On the weekly chart, we have that gap. So we could see some upside here. Again, that 15-minute gap is what I would look for. But we'll see if we get any reaction from that. If this had, like, I don't know, created up here or something, and it hadn't already done what it's done now, or let's say this had traded up to here and had created this like around here and had not taken out this low yet, let alone the sell side, then I would take it ahead. And I would expect it to run there with speed, but it's already kind of done all of that. Already. How's everyone's week been so far? About 3 minutes to that. It's just so dusty in here. The camera even gets dusty. How is that possible? Most of the time it's in a bag. I think yesterday I left it out. It's just dusty. Now that I said that, I remembered when I went to Jamaica one time, I met Vanilla Ice's ex-wife and daughter, and her name was Dusty. This was very interesting to me, because that was when Fortnite was pretty big. So they had a place called the Dusty Divot. So that's like probably how I remember it. Interesting. Very interesting story. We're in Jamaica. Jamaica, man. My brother was there, and then my teammate was there as well, from Penn State. I'm sure he remembers too. Yeah, I remember that time. I remember like we were trying to get on the bus, go back somewhere, and they would just hand you a whole bag of weed or a bracelet and put the bracelet on you and then tell you the price. It's like, how are you telling me the price as you're putting it on me? And then, so you put it on me and then you tell me $20. It's like, I didn't ask for it. Why are you giving this to me? It's like, yeah, you just sit there. They would say, oh yeah, they're like this. And you're like, what? Open your hand, bag of weed. You're like, I don't want this, I'm good. Oh, okay. Then as you're giving it back, then they're putting on a bracelet. $20. I don't want that either. You can have it. So, Jamaica. Also had the same experience in Greece. I don't know if anyone else has had that experience, but I've definitely had that experience in Greece. Where it was like, why is this not so weird? Okay, it's 9:30. Let's see. I want to see a trade up into that gap. I need to go to my intraday levels. Where is it? There we go. So we're way below the closing price. We have a discount gap here. We know we've already hit a higher time frame level, but I want to see if we can get a little bit deeper run into that. But again, Friday, low interest has already done. The week has been really, really lethargic. We've only really traded Rio funds one time, and that was on Tuesday. That was it. But yesterday, I guess, we traded after 12. Would have been nice here. You have straight down, pretty much. No even up close candles after 12 until 2 o'clock, which is nice, right? If you're in a sell and after 12 o'clock, there's only 1, 2, 3, 3 down close candles until hitting here, up close candles. That's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I would have loved to see this hit. Now there is a hourly fair, order block there. This is the same thing that I was expecting yesterday, right? So yesterday, hourly order block, we ran through it up into a gap on a 15-minute time frame. Here's an hourly order block. I just would expect it to come up here and touch the high, but it may not even give that to us, and it may kind of run deeper into this. I'm expecting the mean threshold. Today it seems to be smoother. Hopefully it stays that way. Yeah, we may not get that run, which is unfortunate. Because that's what I wanted. 25 handles. Remember, discount gap. Also, to kind of align with coming up a little bit here. Again, I believe the high of the day has already been placed. So at that point, we're looking for displacement legs, and that's why for here to where it was, why I would have wanted that. Because here we didn't get it either. Then using this low, and to come up there would be a little bit more beneficial in my opinion to then sell short. If we consolidate here, maybe until 10, and then it runs up at 10, then I would expect this to be the high and see if we can trade lower. But if it hits lower first, then I have no interest right now. Absolutely nothing. This is what we're looking for, man. Just gotta be patient here. I would have loved it to trade up there first and give it to me. Again, mean threshold is what we're actually looking for. And this is pretty much consequent encroachment of the gap that we found on the weekly chart. That's what this is. This is slightly above it, so I think that we should be able to draw down there. Again, if we hit down here first, I don't really have any interest in doing much, to be honest. I don't know how many 70, that's not bad. We'll see though. Ideally one up here. That's what I would have wanted. We just fell 25 handles short. A potential area because we came up here and then displaced. Could have taken it there or after displacement and then look for everything down here. Just didn't do it. So if we can create a gap here, we'll see if we can target down there. But if it just does it all in one run, that's it for me because there's really nothing else I'm looking for. So hopefully it gave us a chance. Again, where that is here. Without running too far down. If it gives us that, we'll take a short here. Breaker. And look for that. They can do that. I want to see a gap though. Happen. Oh. So there, that's above the breaker. I think it should go there. Let me see what we get there. Should have tagged me in. That's right. That's crazy, right? That should have tagged me in. Look. I should be in. I don't know why I'm not in, but that's crazy. I should be in on this trade, by the way. I don't know why I didn't do it. That's crazy, but so it is what it is, I guess. We'll just have to paper trade it. That's not what I meant to do. Yeah, I have no idea why I'm not in that trade, but it is what it is. So 2-1. We'll see. Okay, cool. So now we're in the trade. Don't have to do that. So I'm looking at is breaker, fair value gap, have this immediate rebalance there. My stop loss should be above the breaker. And then we should be looking to see if we can take it down to the mean threshold of the order block on the daily chart, which is right there. So we'll see what we get here. Again, it could come back up here. That would not be my expectation, it being outside, but you know, it can do whatever it wants to do. I don't like how it traded through the breaker, like through the gap. Makes it look like it's a deep stop run. Should make it stopped out here. And then if it goes back up to that 15-minute fair value gap, I'll short it again if it does that. Nickelodeon. I don't like how, like again, it ran pretty much right through that gap. It's not ideal situation, but this could be the one that wants to trade up a little bit deeper, where ES does not show the same signatures. And we may get stopped out here. Then we'll just short it again. If it trades up, we'll wait. If it trades up into this gap here, and then shows displacement again, then we'll just wait for that. That's what we'll do. Okay, got stopped out. So I ran through this. And if it comes up here to the original spot, then that's fine. I'll just wait for that. If it trades to this gap here and then shows displacement, then I'll get in again. And then same thing right there. Here is the SIBI. And we'll see what we get there. So there's no SMT in terms of one trading higher and the other one not doing it. It's just this one might trade a little bit deeper. It's just a fair value gap actually, not a SIBI. FEG. My thought process is I actually really don't think it's going to come up here, but it can. So I'm waiting to see what it does inside this gap, because I would have expected this one. Once it closed through it, that was a little bit of a sign to tell me that it's probably not going to work. Once it closed through it, it shouldn't do that. So I think we didn't trade into that yet. So trade up into that. Now, in order for me to take it from here, it'd have to close below a up close candle. Then I'd take it again. But until then, I would be thinking that potentially want to come up here. So that would be my thought process. So if it does that, Again, it just could have just came too deep, like OTE. But I would have expected this breaker to hold. Just didn't. So if we can get closure, that's when I would go again. But I want to see it close below the low, not a wick. I don't do wicks. So just wait. And if we miss the trade just because it doesn't do it, then that's also okay. So right now my focus is on this candle. Closure below that low. That to me is important. And then we'll look for here and there. And based on the stop, yeah, roughly the same thing. So again, looking for closure. So I'm selling again. TP would be down here. Stop loss would be above here. Oh, it's doing that thing again. Where it doesn't want to show me what's happening. So here I'm expecting this to trap in here. We close below this down close candle after trading up into this order block. I'm up to this fair value gap. Expecting price to want to take this out and then ultimately come here. So if we have that, I don't know if it'll give it to me, but we'll try. There's no profit or loss. I don't know why it does that sometimes. We'll buy one there. If he can give it to me, if not, then it ain't gonna do it. Let me try this. That I don't necessarily like that much, to be honest. This is the forward testing account, okay. Reset, log out. Okay. There we go, okay. There we go. So I don't like how it pretty much traded back up to the opening price from here. And on a closing basis, if it does that, then I'm in some trouble. If it closes through this on a closing basis, we may want to come up there. And after that, I'm just chalk it up. So it closed below the low. Here's the order block. There, the opening price. And would need to see it start to trade softer here now. Yeah, I'm not sure why it does that sometimes, where it doesn't even show my stuff. So that's two stops there. Now I have to wait to see what happens here. Again, I'm not looking for TGIF at all. I'm only looking for shorts down to see if we can hit the new threshold of the order block. I do know we hit the gap on the weekly chart. You just might want to trade a little bit higher. And 15F. There we go. So there was no body closure on the 15-minute chart below on NQ, but on ES there was. So this one might be the one that actually is just a little bit more fickle, because I don't even think it should have went this and come back up again. This is not ideal, actually. So we'll wait to see what happens if it gets up into here. I don't necessarily want to take any more from there. So we'll see what this 15-minute FEG offers. Any displacement. If we get any kind of closure above it, I don't necessarily like that. So we close through this gap on a 1 minute chart. It's not good. So we'll just wait. Let's check something real quick. Because, I mean, I do see that there's a little volume balance there. But for us to trade this deep is kind of crazy. Yes. Yeah, and with SMT right here and this strong displacement, I would have expected that as well. For this to hold. Because this was turtle soup there at 9:30. So I guess up here is where it wants to go first. And just go from there. I need to get a postcard actually. So something I do is the country I go to, I get their currency, and then I get a postcard, and I write it to myself and I send it back home. I haven't done that yet. I need to go do that now. I think the other one it was more than a couple of weeks. I feel like it took a month or something, and that was closer. So I need to go do that before I run out of time. So here's a volume imbalance. There. That price hit. So we'll see if we get an immediate rebalance here. I want to see if that ends up sending us lower down to run out this low and then this low. I don't think it should trade up this deep in general. And that's my opinion. Didn't make any sense to do this. Let's run all the way back up to this volume imbalance, which is, again, it can, but that's not what I would have expected at all. Not at all. Because like even if I would have entered here, right? Let's say I would have entered here. I mean, maybe my stop loss would have been above there. Still 3-1, so it's not bad. I'm at 2-1. But for it coming up here, I would have expected to run up there first. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't have expected that. It's crazy work. Crazy work, a deep retracement to a volume imbalance. Crazy work. Sometimes it just be like that. And try it again if it comes up in here. If it just runs lower again, there's just nothing for me to do. But it needs to come up first. One thing I just don't want to get caught in is it just do up and down and up and down. And even though it's demo, it doesn't matter. I'm just not trying to get caught in that. I don't want to. So we'll see what we get here. But yeah, coming back all up to this small volume balance is wild work. In my opinion. Wild work. Maybe can understand this one. Don't understand this one. That one's crazy. I'm not going to take this gap. I don't want to see trade up into this IFEG or even into this, which it may not even offer. It's a breaker. I'm not going to take this one. I would take if it comes up into here before taking this out. That'd be my thought process. Don't think we'll get that now. I think this is the run, and it's gonna like not fill in the gaps, which is what we wanted here, but didn't get it. So I didn't like that it already took out the low already prior to doing that. I don't like that. So we'll just watch to see if it hits the mid figure, 23,500. Pretty much is the mean threshold of an order block on the daily chart. If it does that, then it will be straight. Then we'll hop off. This is the macro time too. Ahead of the macro time. Here's the 950. Yeah, I don't like how it did that. Yeah, I think it's gonna hit that level. I don't think we'll get an entry trading lower. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sure it's gonna hit there. Still take a screenshot if it does it. Just put it in the notes. Classic. Threshold. It should hit it pretty soon. There we go, did it. Okay, so we were looking for shorts here. We didn't get that one. We've looked for it off of this level. Didn't get that one either. Traded all the way back up to a volume imbalance here. And then went straight down. Nothing really much else we can do about that one. From this point, I would have expected to come here and then dip. Initially at 930, I wanted to see it trade up into here. Just didn't do it. It was too weak. Displaced. Breaker. From here. To take out this, there was SMT. This is the swing that started it. So I used that, and that obviously didn't do anything. Close above this gap. Traded through this balance range here. Came down. Sold the order block. Traded above that to this, and then went lower. So sometimes that happens. I don't know what else to do about that one. But all right, I will catch you guys. I'm thinking next week I actually may take off like the whole week, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. If I don't see you guys or hear from you guys on Monday, it'll be like the following Monday. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Appreciate you guys for popping out, and I will catch you guys on the next stream. Peace out.